Welcome to our Wednesday evening Lenten service. We are glad that you are here this evening as we continue our journey to the cross. This evening, our service will be set up with a Taizé service, which means the music is very meditative, repetitive, and it will put us into a place where we can reflect on this journey that we are all in together. Our readings this evening will be from the Gospel of Mark. Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. And when they heard it, they were greatly pleased and promised to give him money. So he began to look for an opportunity to betray him.
Taizé worship requires repetitive singing, and we will listen to the melody from the pianist, then we will sing the melody to you, and then we will continue to sing that melody several times, growing in intensity and then becoming softer after a while.
They went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took with him Peter and James and John, and he began to be distressed and agitated. And he said to them, "My soul deeply grieves, even to death. Remain here and keep awake."
Stay with me, remain here with me, watch and pray, watch and pray. Tonight, our member Joe Labiak is here and is going to share his reflection on love and lament.
Thank you. So nice to see all of you here this evening. When I accepted this opportunity from Pastor Bill, I did not realize we were celebrating St. Patrick's Day this evening, and that was the reason there's no lecture. On the plus side, I assume that at least everyone here after tonight's St. Patrick's dinner is sober, so that's a plus. So, on this evening of celebration and Lenten prayer, I would like to talk about just a small lament, not big ones. Again, to lament is to feel sorrow, pain, loss, or regret. It is the opposite of rejoicing. I've had some laments in my life, no worse than most of you, I'm sure, and certainly less serious than some of you here. I would like to talk about lament and love from the perspective of the Lutheran Lenten Gospel assigned for today from John chapter 8. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Have you ever lost a set of keys, a car fob? Really? I'm not alone. I've always loved to swim in the summer, especially in Lake Michigan, when possible, a favorite place of mine to go. But over the years, the water seems to feel colder than it used to. And to me, getting an annual dip in the lake has become more the norm. A couple of Augusts ago, I managed to wade in one hot August afternoon at the Muskegon State Park beach. When I came out of the water, instead of feeling refreshed, a sense of panic engulfed me. My key fob. Oh. Now, I always had a ritual to protect my keys and a wife to remind me. Put them in a swimsuit pocket with a zipper, and then at the beach, put them either in your shoe or the beach bag before getting wet. Nope. Not in my pocket, not in a shoe, and not in the beach bag. Great consternation and a whole lot of self-recrimination. Back in the wavy water I went in a futile attempt to discover the remote fob. I tried retracing my steps in about an acre area of water. That was great. Finally, I came out, accepted defeat, and stood by my beach stuff, contemplating my next step. I prayed for help, and I'm sure I asked my wife and son in heaven to intercede for me. Then I thought, well, I could walk home. It's only about 10 miles in my bathing suit. That would be cute. And anyway, so I knew I had to do it. I looked around for a friendly face. I saw a tall man with his wife and family packing up to leave. So I walked up to him and I introduced myself and explained my predicament and asked if I could borrow his phone to call a neighbor to bring another key fob. Sure, he answered, and he explained they were followers of Jesus. Honest, I was so shocked. I picked the first person, and that's what he said. They belonged to a group in Wisconsin that loved and served him. And he showed me a band on his wrist that said he was a Jesus follower. They were in Muskegon for the Christian Rock Festival. He offered to drive me home, get a fob, and drive me back to the beach. Well, I certainly didn't want to interrupt their evening Christian rock concert. And I did know one phone number, that of my condominium neighbor. And so I said to him, if I could just reach her, she might be able to help. So, okay. I called. She answered. She found the spare key fob and drove over to the beach to meet me. Of course, I thanked the man profusely, and my neighbor, and she waited, and the remote fob did not work. There was a key in it, and with that I was able to open the car door, and at least I could access my phone and my clothes. Well, I did not want to ask my neighbor to go get me a 3-volt little battery, so I tried calling OnStar. No, they said that wasn't their job. They couldn't start it. I called AAA. No, they couldn't start it, but they could haul it to the dealer for the weekend. So I said, no, all I need is a $2 battery. So I found a workaround in the car manual, which I hadn't read before. It took me quite a while, but I finally got the car started. I thanked my neighbor profusely. She was the same neighbor who visited my wife when she was sick and in hospice at home for 14 months. And she couldn't take care of her, but they chatted and watched Jeopardy and told jokes and played cards, and they became best of friends. And she made it possible during that time for me to sometimes come to the Thursday evening service here or to the scripture class. So anyway, I quickly moved from frustration and self-recrimination to rejoicing in God and to love for my angels in distress. I was so grateful. Certainly not all laments are resolved so easily, but God often does seem to answer our prayers, even if not in the manner that we ask Him. The light of Christ extended from these rescuers to me. I read recently that the abundance of grace, the light of Christ that God sends to us, comes as a beam of light to our hearts and souls. But it comes not just for us. It is God's way of bringing light to others through us. The visitors at the beach and my Christian neighbors certainly had it. We have it too, and we must share it also. The light, in a little way, these may not be necessary. Well, I now try to share the light in little ways. These may not be necessary or fit your work or life, but other ways will, I'm sure. I am a private type of person, and I must push myself sometimes to share the light, the grace given abundantly. And the easiest way to do that is right here in church. And our pastoral team does this very well. So here are Uncle Joe's cures for lament. Greet and meet visitors or members I do not yet know. Volunteer. Welcome and meet people when ushering. Support friends here and those who do so much to enhance our experience of worship and community. Recognize their efforts and thank them for it. Offer to join people we do not know after coffee or at our Wednesday evening suppers and so on. Most people like to be welcome and to have company at a table. In fact, that happened to me tonight. These are some of the ways to share the grace, the light of life that we have received, whether it is here or in school or at work or especially at home. I have learned that this makes it easier for me to do this outside of this friendly environment. It gives me greater opportunities elsewhere. I like to remind myself to share the light by humming or singing as I head out the door to my car. And the old tune that civil rights groups used back in the 1930s to embolden them in the most hostile of circumstances. And you all know it. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. this little
light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Then the soldiers led him into the courtyard of the palace, that is, the governor's headquarters, and they called together the whole cohort, and they clothed him in a purple cloak, and after twisting some thorns into a crown, they put it on him. And they began saluting him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They struck his head with a reed. They spat on him and knelt down in homage to him. After marking him, they stripped him of the purple cloak and they put his own clothes on him. Then they led him out to crucify him.
Wait for the Lord, whose day is near. Wait for the Lord, be strong, take heart.
Go in peace, serve the Lord.
Thanks
Thanks
be to God.